Every morning, sunlight entered my room until the bed started eating it. The bed in this room ate only one thing, the sun's light. And when that light disappeared, someone else's breath disappeared too. If you have the courage, then about 15 years ago, there was a small town, Willow Creek. The town was peaceful, with sunlight pouring warm light inside every morning through the curtains of the houses. But on the corner of that town sat an old house, number 39, which people called Graywood House. A new family was moving into this house. Ethan, his wife Mira, and their young son Leo. On the day of the move, everything was fine, except one thing was strange. While the movers were loading the house, a very old wooden bed was placed in the corner of the truck. Mira said, "This isn't ours." Mover smiled. "Madam, this is the address. It's written on the list, master bedroom bed." Ethan thought the seller might have left it with the house. The bed looked strange. The wood was a bit too dark, as if it had been burned. And the most dangerous thing, the bed felt a little warm, as if it wasn't wood, but something alive. Mira pulled her hands back. "Ethan, this bed doesn't feel right at all." But Ethan jokingly said, "Old furniture, it must be a little creepy." And that was it. The bed was placed in the master. It was 2 a.m. Mira and Ethan were in deep sleep, or at least should have been. Suddenly, thump. A voice called out. Ethan woke up. It must have been Leo, but the voice wasn't coming from Leo's room. It was coming from under their bed. Ethan picked up the flashlight. As he leaned down to look, it felt like someone was breathing inside. Mira opened her eyes. "Ethan, what happened?" Ethan quietly said, "Nothing. The house will be settled." He lied. The truth was, he could clearly feel that the bed was alive. He decided to take the bed down and put it outside in the morning. But in the morning, sunlight didn't reach the master bedroom. Sunlight was streaming throughout the house, just not into the bedroom, as if someone was eating. Leo began to strangely like that bed. One day, Mira noticed Leo sitting next to the bed, his hands on the wooden base, gently tapping it as if he were talking to the bed. Mira said in a startled tone, "Leo, don't touch that." Leo turned away. His eyes looked a little pitch black. "Mommy, the bed is talking to me. It says it's hungry." Mira's blood froze. "Hungry? For what?" Leo said in an innocent voice. "For sunlight." After that day, the master bedroom was always dark. No matter how many windows I opened, the smoke. Ethan finally decided to move the bed out of the house. He called 2 movers. When they both started lifting the bed's weight had doubled. The mover said, "Sir, what's in it? It won't even move." And suddenly, the wooden slats in the middle of the bed began to sink inward, as if someone had pulled the middle part in. The mover put his hand in, and it wouldn't come back out. He screamed, "Ah! Something grabbed my hand." The second mover kept pulling him away, but the bed swallowed his hand. Ethan froze in shock. Blood began to ooze from between the slats. Mover fainted. The ambulance arrived. The police arrived. Ethan lied, saying his hand was stuck under the bed. Otherwise, anyone would have thought him crazy. Bed, it had tasted. That night, Ethan heard a voice. Dark, gurgling, whispering sounds. "Ethan, I'm hungry." Feed me. Ethan's heart began to pound. Mira cried and said, Ethan, we need to leave this house. Just then, Leo came into the room. His voice was completely flat. Dad, the bed said, if you don't feed it, it will eat me next. Ethan finally decided to investigate the bed's history. He pulled out Graywood House's old property files, and there it was written. Master bedroom bed was hand carved by Silas Graywood, 1891. Notes included: never place this bed under direct sunlight. It absorbs light. It grows. And below, a horrifying line. In case of accidental feeding, move out immediately. Mira.
The family decided they would leave the house that night and run away. But as they started packing, the bedroom door closed automatically. The house lights began to blink. The bed growled. The floor began to creak beneath. The family decided they would leave the house that night and run away. But as they started packing, the bedroom door closed automatically. The house lights began to blink. The bed growled. The floor began to creak beneath.
Ethan stood in front of the bed. Take me. Leave my family. The bed growled, and dark smoke began to billow from within. The wood in the center of the bed collapsed, revealing a huge black void abyss. Ethan yelled, Mira! Leo! Run! Mira picked Leo up and ran out of the house. Ethan alone in front of the bed. Mira and Leo left the city. They never saw Graywood House again. But a few weeks later, a news reporter went inside the house. The camera zoomed into the master bedroom. The bed was there, completely new. And sunlight? There was no sunlight entering the room at all. The reporter touched, and the camera began to vibrate. In the first frame, the wood of the bed moved slightly, as if someone was breathing inside. Fade out. Black screen. Sometimes the most common thing in the house can be the most dangerous. And remember, if there's no sunlight in your room, then it could be something you're eating.